Hi everyone, welcome to another video. So in this video I'm going to be testing out these new products from a company called Grizaye, and I think they're sort of part of the same company as the Coloured Pencil magazine or something like that, but I will leave the link to these products in the description below. But they kindly sent me this new range of products to test out and show you guys, so I've also got a 10% off discount code which I will leave in the description as well, which is valid until the 1st of April I believe. So if you do want to try these out, then you can use that discount code. So this new range of products is something completely different and something I've never seen done before. So they're actually coloured charcoal pencils. They're different because they're actually water soluble as well. They've only got 12 colours at the moment, I think. I don't think they've got any bigger sets at the moment. These are the 12 colours that they do at the moment. And as you can see here, there's quite a mixture of colours. There's like some neutral kind of colours and some brighter colours, a white, a black and a grey, obviously pretty essential. But I would say there does need to be a brighter yellow in this collection because this is kind of like a brownie kind of yellow. And obviously yellow is a primary colour, so in order to mix colours together you kind of need a basic yellow kind of colour. But I understand they've only just brought these out, so they might be working on more colours, I'm not too sure, but it would be great if in the future they could bring out a wider colour range, because these products, I am actually really pleased with these so far and I think these have real potential. But yeah, in the future it'd just be great if they could come out with some more colours. But these pencils, they feel really nice quality. They're really nice to hold. They don't feel cheap at all. They feel really nice. These charcoal pencils you can use just as normal kind of charcoal pencils, or you can add water and blend them together as they are water soluble as well. So you can blend them with a blending stump, or you can just blend them with your finger, I suppose, or anything like that. Any way you'd normally blend kind of pastels and normal charcoal, you can use that sort of thing. But you can also blend them with water as well, which is really cool, and yes, makes these really unique as well. And they did send me a couple of their charcoal paper as well, which is what they have obviously designed to go with these coloured pencils. So I've got the black charcoal paper and their white charcoal paper. So I recently did a little like art studio vlog on my channel, and I ended up testing out these charcoal pencils just roughly. I didn't like do a proper test, but I sort of just swatched them in that video. So I swatched them on the black and the white charcoal paper, so I'll just show you here how they look. So as you can see on the black, they do really stand out on the black paper, which is really cool. So I think for today's video, I'm going to draw something on the black paper because I feel like it just looks they really stand out. But the thing is, when you add water to them, and the colours kind of, yeah, they kind of fade and they don't look quite as bright once you've added the water. So I'm not sure it completely works with the black paper and the water. But on the white paper, you can see obviously the colours stand out really well on the white as well. And when you add the water, they stay just as bright on the white paper. So I would definitely say the black paper works really well with them, but water-soluble part of it doesn't necessarily work as well on the black paper. It still works, but just not as well as it does on the white. And then this little thing here, I was just basically testing out how the colours kind of blend together. I was just doing this random little doodle with them just to kind of see how they worked. But yeah, I just feel like I need to create like a little piece of these to give like a bit more of a full review on my thoughts on them. I think I'm going to draw up a picture of like a dog or something on the black paper. I'm not sure whether I want to add colour to it or not. I might add like a little pop of colour, I don't know yet, but I might do it sort of more white and grey kind of colours. I don't know yet, but anyway, I'm going to draw out the dog onto a piece of the black paper, and then we'll go from there. And I'll be filming the process of how I draw this piece as well, so we'll see how this goes. So I started off with the eye, which is always what I do, so I'm sort of just adding a little bit of grey around the edge of the eye and a bit of the white as well. And I also tried adding a bit more black to try and make it even darker, but it didn't seem to make the paper any darker, which was annoying because I kind of wanted a really rich black. It didn't seem to work that way, so I couldn't really get the exact definition in the eyes that I wanted. And then I was kind of just adding a layer of white around the edge and blending it out with a blending stump just to give like a rough kind of greyish base before I added more white on top. I just found these a little bit hard to layer on this paper. I'm more used to using pastel matte paper, but anyway, I'll let you watch the rest of this process and then I will get back to you with my thoughts in a second. Yeah. this is kind of what I've created so far, and I'm not loving this piece, if I'm honest, but because I was trying to go for more of like a sketchy effect so that I can actually get it done pretty quickly. So this is the kind of what it's looking like up close. I find the pencils themselves seem really good. I have no complaints at all. I think it's just the combination of the pencils and the paper is something I'm not used to working with. So I don't know whether I would maybe get on better with these pastels if I was to, these charcoal pencils, if I was to use pastel paper, the pastel mat that I always use for my pastel paper. So at some point I would definitely have to give them a try on that paper. We don't really have time to do a piece, a proper piece on pastel mat right now, because a whole piece would normally take me hours and hours to do, even a piece like this. I mean, I've only been doing this for sort of like half an hour or so, so this hasn't taken me very long so far. But what I'm finding so far on the black paper is that I can't quite get black enough with this black. So unless I leave the paper completely black like there, I can't really go over it and make it black enough. I feel like it doesn't go black enough, like this part here of the eye and that. It doesn't seem black enough. I don't know, I can't describe it, but I feel like it needs to be darker. And then the white, also there's this area of the picture, my reference picture, this bit here is like pure white on the dog. So obviously I wanted to make this quite opaque, but it doesn't, that's as much as I can layer on that area there. So I can't actually make that any whiter. So you can still see the black paper kind of underneath there, which I'm not completely loving. So I don't know, I don't think I'm going to continue with this piece because I feel like there's no point, but I can kind of see how the pencils work here. And yeah, the pencils themselves, really love. What I might do in a bit is just swatch them on pastel mat and just see how they compare to this paper. I mean, I'm not saying this paper is bad by any means, I'm just saying I'm not used to working on this sort of texture paper with this sort of type of pencils, if that makes sense. Like pastels, I wouldn't normally work on this kind of smooth paper. I'd normally work on very gritty kind of paper, such as pastel mat. So yeah, it's just, that's a me problem, not a problem with the pencils at all. I'm just going to see what would happen if I added some colour into this ear. So I'm going to add a little bit of purple maybe, or purple and blue, and just see how they layer on top of the other charcoal pencils that I've already got down on the paper. No. So those colours kind of went on quite nicely. As you can see, it creates like a little pastel effect. But I feel like you can't get them super bold because I've already got colour like penciled down on the paper. So I feel like you can't get them as bold as they were on the swatches that I did. So they're not gonna, they don't layer super well on this paper. Not the way I'm used to it layering anyway, like on pastel mat. But as I said, that's not necessarily a problem with the pencils or anything, it's just the combination of the pencils and the paper. But the pencils themselves, as I said, feel absolute great quality. They go down on the paper really nicely, it's just they don't layer super well on this paper in particular. So I'm just going to grab a little scrap of pastel mat here, and I'm going to swatch the pencils on here, and then I'm also going to try adding water on the pastel mat as well, and just see how that kind of works as well. So on the pastel mat, they do definitely remind me very much of pastels, maybe a little bit harder, like they feel quite hard, compared to some pastels can be really soft, like you have to kind of press a bit harder. But yeah, they look really bold on the paper, they go down really nicely, and I'm going to try adding some water to them and just see kind of how it works on the pastel mat. So I've got this little like water brush pen thing, and I'm just going to add some water, just see how they go. Oh, that the black just looks so good with the water. Look how like smooth and blended that goes. That's really nice. Even the white blends really well with the on the pastel mat as well. Let's see if the colours work the same. Wow. Yeah, that green goes really, really nice. God, they seem to work really, really well with the water on the pastel mat, which is interesting. So the water-soluble part of these works so well on the pastel mat. Look how well that they've blended. I mean, they do kind of bleed a little bit the edges, which might be a slight problem, but yeah, they look really, really nice on the pastel mat. Especially compared to on this paper, the way they just have gone a bit chalky. On the white paper, they blended quite well, apart from you could kind of see the outline a bit more. On the pastel mat, I feel like they've worked really, really well compared to this paper for the water-soluble thing of it. So maybe at some point I'm going to have to try using them as watercolours, but on the pastel mat, because I think that would work really, really well. Then this piece here, perhaps if I add a little bit of water to this, it might change it. I don't know, I'm going to just experiment and just see how the water reacts like to this drawing here. So as you can see, the water is kind of making the white disappear. Like, it's not really blending very well. It just kind of makes the white disappear. So I'm not going to add it to the rest of the portrait because I don't want to kind of get rid of any of it, but it kind of works as an eraser almost. It's really strange. So I don't really like the water-soluble part of it on this black paper at all. I don't feel like that works well in any way. It works a lot better on the white paper because I think it just showed up a lot more, but on the black paper it's almost like the colour gets absorbed into the paper when you add water or something. I'm not entirely sure. But overall, the pencils themselves I love. They are really, really nice quality pencils and they go down on the paper like a dream. Like, they're very, very bold. Bold colours. No problems at all with that. They blend nicely with a blending stump, got no problems. The colour selection is not the greatest at the moment, but I'm assuming they may add more colours in the future. This is just like a first range, the first little set that they've created, so understandably they've only just started with a few. They may create some more colours, which would be fantastic, because I think a higher colour range would kind of increase the amount of different things that you can, different subject matters that you can draw with these. And it does say on here that they are layerable with charcoal, graphite, pastel and coloured pencils, so that is really cool. You can use these for kind of like mixed media, so I guess at the moment if there aren't colours in this set that you would need, then you could use other mediums with it to kind of create the pieces you want at the moment. But as I said, I will leave a discount code in the description below in case you would like to check out these for yourself. It's a 10% off discount code that is valid until the 1st of April. And I would definitely recommend these if you would like to try out something completely new, or if you want something that's kind of charcoal and pastel like, but you can also use water with them. It kind of just makes them really unique and very versatile as well. You could do lots of different things with these. I just feel like I need to experiment with these more on the pastel mat because I think, well, pastel mat's my favourite paper to work on anyway, so I just feel like that's just what I'm used to. So it doesn't mean this paper is bad, it's just not what I'm used to. So apart from using the water-soluble on the black, I don't really recommend that. But other than that, these pencils are really, really good. I've enjoyed experimenting with them and I would like to continue to experiment with them and just see what I can come up with in the future. Please give the video a thumbs up if you did enjoy the video and thought it was helpful, and hopefully see you in my next video. Bye for now.